Here we go.
I'm good right here.
That's not this type of show. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. I love these people. They braved the weather for us. They braved the weather. I heart them. I do. I love them. I love them. Thank you, everybody. Have a seat. Have a seat. Let's get started. Let's get started. Thank you. Have a seat. Thank you, everybody. Leo, take a shot of the studio audience. All of these people have what? Yeah. All these people have one thing in common. They all came via a family of Siberian Huskies. That's right. Keep that love going for my good buddy Shayne Wells right over here. Hello, Shayne.
Hello. I feel like Olaf. I just want to give them all each a warm hug. We all just need warm hugs right now.
Look, we live in Minnesota, and we're not allowed to complain about the weather, especially today, because our special guest is Eric Dayton. He'll be here in just a little bit. Yeah, Eric is part of the... You can't complain about the cold weather on Eric. He wants us to embrace it. So I'm not going to complain, but my Lanta, it is colder than a polar bear's armpit. I mean, it's freezing outside. It's going to be 29 below zero if Keith Marler is right. Yeah. That's nuts.
I'm getting a lot of texts from friends who don't live here. Like, this isn't real. You might not make it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
And if you've been with us since season 1, you guys remember one of my best friends, Hey Haley. She is the executive producer of our sister show, Good Day LA in LA. So Sassy McSasserpants this morning sends me a text. She goes, "How you guys doing?" I'm like, I don't need that today.
No.
And then she sends me a picture of Santa Monica.
Nope.
You know, of the beautiful beach at Santa.
It's not the time.
I don't need that crap today. No.
Soon.
Too soon. Audience, how many of you have pets? Do you guys have pets in the audience? Yeah. There is not. So I don't know about you, but I don't mind going out. I have a coat. You know, I have gloves. But taking your dog's potty when it's this cold is like the 7th ring of hell, because I have 2 dogs. I have Dexter the boxer, and he's not a problem because when he goes out potty, he's the Flash. I mean, he goes out and he's in. The French bulldog, Mr. Big, takes 40 years to find a spot. And he looks at this bush, no, goes to another bush. And we had to buy little French bulldog boots for him.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, $80. And so and he hates it, so we have to pick him up like a Jimmy Dean sausage. And we're shoving these little boots on his little stubby
And then they won't walk right.
And he's not walking, so he takes even longer to pee because he doesn't know how to walk. It's just, I feel bad. But all kidding aside, our boss told us, this is no joke, I'm sure Keith told you, it's like 5 minutes in 29 degrees below zero, 5 minutes, and we as humans can get frostbite. And those little guys on their paws, it's horrible. So yeah, it's 5 minutes.
Peyton will be pooping in the garage for the next 3 days.
That's fine, yeah, I know.
I don't know what else to do.
I thought about just quickly toilet training Mr. Big today. Just really, anyway.
Litter box.
So stay indoors, everybody. We're going to hope to warm you up. So grab a cup of hot cocoa. Let's get started with the hot dish. Here we go, everybody. Good stuff today. Oh, I'm so excited about this. The Real Housewives of New York City. Now, don't turn the channel. If you're not a Real Housewifer, you're still going to enjoy this because they're back. And Minnie Pearl, we are getting our first look at the upcoming season. This trailer is as nutter butters as it gets. Here's a small snippet.
We're in Miami!
Fabulous. Girls, are we going to have fun?
Go, Tinsley! Go to sleep now!
Oh, my God.
Welcome to Christmas with the Countess.
9 months ago, I was in jail, and now I'm a cabaret star. It's insane.
I can't even believe you act this way. Cabaret, cabaret, cabaret all day. Life is not a cabaret.
You should apologize.
You're the only one that wants to talk all the time.
You are insufferable. Don't touch those f***ing ladders!
Don't.
Oh, I love it! Okay. Here's my look at him, audience, they're slapping. Here's my sales pitch. Look at these.
Oh my gosh.
Here's my sales pitch on New York. Like, sometimes the Real Housewives franchise, they get mired in really deep stuff, and it's like, ugh, you don't want that. The great thing about New York City is I call it fun drama. It's just lunacy. It's just crazy. They're just bickering, and it's fun to watch. I mean, look at Sonia. She fell off a chair, for heaven's sake. I mean, New York was and always will. It's my favorite of the whole franchise. I love it.
Just get your, my anxiety. It's just so much yelling.
Oh, I know.
So much yelling.
Oh, there's nothing better than Dorinda yelling at you. I really
feel the opposite.
I know. Anyway, yeah. Season 11 of The Real Housewives of New York City debuts in March. Let's move on, everybody. Next in the hot dish, a third Sex and the City movie. Look, we're not going to get it. Let's just face it. It's taken me I know. Well, and this next story almost like opens the wound up. Even though we're not going to get that, it's not stopping SJP, Sarah Jessica Parker, from becoming Carrie Bradshaw probably this last time. SJP, here's the deal, recently teamed up with The Dude to make a beer commercial for the Super Bowl. And the reason, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Look at this.
Hello. Good to see you again.
Likewise.
Please, Cosmopolitan.
Nope. Tonight I'll have a Stella Artois. Here's Stella. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. Oh.
Wild night, huh?
White Russian?
No, Gary, give me a Stella Artois.
Excuse me. Good choice.
Well, changing can do a little good. Dude abides.
I know. Okay, here's the good. It's great seeing her as Carrie Bradshaw. That's the good. Here's the bad. Like I said 47 seconds ago, all it does is make me want a third Sex and the City movie because we as fans deserve better. We deserve a better wrap-up than that trash heap that is Sex and the City Part 2. We deserve better. Now, stop it. Stop it. Lady in the front row, get out of here. There's one good scene in that movie. There's 3 good scenes in that movie, Lady in the Red. I was gonna give you a mug. Get out of here. No, it's a horrible movie, and we want to wrap up. We're not going to get one, but this is all for a good cause. I think she agreed to do it, and Jeff Bridges agreed to do it because Stella or Tot, they're going to give money to clean water. So that's good. Yeah.
All I want.
Yeah. What? I know what you're going to say.
All I want when I watch that commercial is a beer. I've never drank a beer. Well, how do I want to say this better?
Wait, you've never had a beer?
I've had a beer once.
You go to Green Bay games. How can you not have a beer?
They serve vodka in Green Bay.
They do? I'm just joking. No, you've never.
No, I've had a beer.
I've worked with you for 4 years, and I'm just now. You've never had a glass of beer in your life?
I've had a taste of beer, and I hated it. But now I want to try again. That Stella Artois.
Are you kidding?
I had to look up what it was, too.
I honestly thought you were joking. You've only had one sip of beer in your whole life?
Yeah.
Wow. There's no shame.
I thought it was revolting, so why would I force it down my throat? That's my taste. You can love your beer. I'm not saying other people shouldn't drink beer.
No, I'm with you. I'm not a beer kind of girl. I like, give me a vodka soda. I almost said.
No, we heard it. Yeah.
I almost said I'm not a beer kind of girl.
Right. You actually did say that.
But I don't like beer either. I don't think it.
But do you want to drink one now?
Well, I do. You know when I want to drink one? And let's just put this image in our head. I wish we had our tropical background. But this is when I want a beer. Is when you're on in all Minnesotans, Wisconsins. What do they call it? Wisconsinites? You'll get it. Scotties. When you're on your pontoon. Thank you. Oh, look at
yes.
Pull out, Leo. Pull out.
So warm.
See, if first row lady wouldn't have made me mad, I was going to give you guys all a trip. But she just had to be sassy, didn't she? No, but you know when I want a beer is when you're sitting on the pontoon in a summer day, even if I don't like beer, because I see my mother-in-law, you know, and she's like a professional Bud Light drinker, and she just looks, you know, she cracks that can open, and she just looks so relaxed. That's when I want a can of Bud Light, you know?
Get it.
Let's move on.
We digress.
We digress.
Wow.
Anyway, it's cold. You're lucky we're here. School's canceled, you know? There's a new diet sweeping the nation called, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, J-Lo's 10-Day Challenge. And it involves no carbs, no sugar, no fruit, no potatoes, so no beer, and no dairy. Today's show anchors,
what can you eat?
Like twigs. And today's show anchors Hoda and Carson Daly tried it. Here's the deal. Hoda loves it. Carson had a quite different view. Look at this.
Forgive me, J-Lo, for I have sinned.
The challenge for me, accepted on Friday, never really happened. By the time I got home, I had a text from my sister, who doesn't cook that often, and she invited my family over to her family's house. She made individual chicken pot pies. I mean, what am I supposed to do, not eat that? Am I supposed to show up with my own bag of broccoli and, oh, I can't have any carbs? It's Friday night. On Saturday, we went to my favorite restaurant where they're known for their really crispy French fries, and I didn't order them, but somebody did, and they were in the table, and I can't not have one. So, sorry. I don't know if I can do it. I really don't think I can, to be honest with you. Or maybe just deep down inside, I don't want to.
That's right. Hoda says she recruited her mom, sister, and boyfriend to participate, and she says she has more energy than ever. Whatever. Yeah. I'm with Carson. There's no way. Look, I could lose a lot of pounds, but I'm sorry. I like potatoes too much.
And what do you do after the 10 days are up?
Yeah. I'm going to go get some fries, and we'll be right back. Stay with us, everybody. When I think romantic date, I think leeches. Yup. Things got serious and then they got, well, weird on The Bachelor. Plus, I had multiple people tell me I absolutely had to watch a new documentary. And let me tell you, those people were right. I'm going to tell you all about CNN's blockbuster doc, 3 Identical Strangers. And he's the man that wants us to stop complaining about winter and instead embrace and enjoy it. Our special guest today, Eric Dayton, is live in our studio. Stay right there. The Jason Show will be right back.
I woke up this morning feeling emotionally exhausted.
Everybody in this house knows that Kaylin and I don't like each other. It is something that we came into this process with since Miss USA. And yesterday, she told Colton that I'm manipulative, hostile, deceitful, and I don't know how he's feeling. So I'm just hoping this week I just get some more validation from him that we're okay.
Morning. What?
Good morning. How's everybody feeling after yesterday, after last night?
Good.
Kayla, how was it for you?
Well, my name's Hannah.
Oh, sorry, Hannah. Sorry, Hannah.
Whoops. Hey. Cut him some slack. What is this show's been on 80 years? You know, it was one of those nights on The Bachelor as the former beauty pageant contestants once again squared off. It is week 4 in Colton's quest to find love. And this week, the ladies leave the friendly confines of the Bachelor mansion and head to Singapore. Here with their take on last night's episode, give it up for our Bachelor experts, Shayne and producer Ted. Okay, let's get going. Bungee jumping was a date. Why?
How would you do on that one?
Well, you know me. You guys can't.
That's why I'm asking you.
I don't like heights. Never, ever would I do this, especially not on a first date.
Not for love?
Not for love, no. I love love, but no.
I get queasy watching this date.
Yeah.
Because, first of all,
here it is right here. Oh, no.
There's a chance for death.
Yes!
And if he's not the one, don't jump.
And I don't want to die on ABC. Let's be clear. You know what I mean? And my goodness. They put your feet like that? No!
And just know, if you're afraid of heights, you are most definitely going to get a date where you are suspended high in the air or jumping off something.
Yeah, because this
so
isn't the
annoying.
first time they've done this, right?
It's like every season, and then of course they bond over their fears.
And she does it
So
too.
beautiful.
Oh, she does! No!
Oh.
No.
I feel like she's gonna get whipped really hard.
Oh.
Yeah, she did.
But there's a kiddie pool at the bottom, so.
No. Okay. Now, when you guys were talking about last night's episode, I had to read a tease, and in the tease it said something about leeches. And I thought it was a typo, but I was wrong-o.
Nothing more romantic than a little bloodsucker on your.
So sweet.
Okay, let's roll. I gotta see this. Let's roll the video. What are they doing, and why?
They're putting leeches on their body because it makes for good TV, they think.
Aphrodisiac.
But I'm starting. This show is starting to feel more like Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Less like The Bachelor. I don't know
Oh,
why.
that's a good observation.
Like, there's just no romance in like a lot of these dates.
I was gonna say, how can you really?
Oh, really?
Did he just put that on her breast?
I think so. I thought about that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay, ABC. Anyway.
How would you do on that date?
How would I do that? Sorry. There shall be no leeches. There shan't be a leech on my breast. No, yeah. Okay, date with Kaylin. This is, now correct me if I'm wrong, this is Miss North Carolina, right?
First runner-up for Miss USA. This is her.
Oh, seriously? And they go shopping.
Yeah, she finally gets like an awesome date in that she gets to have a shopping spree, but how rude of producers who make her walk in the house with all her bags, and you know these girls are just shooting her eye daggers.
They were bawling after this because they wanted the stuff.
Sorry.
So, Shayne, you're loving this. Yeah. So it wasn't like they didn't go to
together.
Target. They went to like high-end stores.
And she got to try on lots of dresses. It was her like pretty woman, if you will, moment.
Is she a contender, you guys?
I think she's a front runner. She had it was a very real, rare moment where she confessed that she had been raped in college. And the story, I mean, it just guts you listening to it.
Yeah.
And, it took a lot of courage to tell him and the rest of the world what you went through.
Did
So
they handle it well? Because this show was not, I mean, we just showed a clip of leeches, for heaven's sake. Did they handle it well?
That's why it felt like this unique moment where you were
Okay.
like actually sucked into it, like they're real people. This is their real lives. It was the only moment you felt like that this whole season, really.
Let's move back to the non-serious. There was a cocktail party where there was some Demi versus Courtney. Tell me about this.
This is one of those things where, producers probably were like, all right, we got a half hour left in the show. You got to do something.
Yeah.
And so it was.
I've never had that happen.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Tap dance.
Ted's never said in my ear, we have 8 minutes, do whatever you want. Yeah.
Well, anywho, so Demi, whose mom just got out of prison.
Okay.
She says that Courtney is the cancer of the house. We don't even know who Courtney is.
This is true.
You've never seen her? Not really.
There's still some girls that you're like, wait, who is that?
Yeah.
Where did she come from? It's still that early in the season.
Okay, now when they're fighting like this, do either come out looking good in a scenario like this? I mean, are either of them?
Not as like a contender to win, but sometimes you have a little more respect for some of them, how they deal with it.
Okay, really quick, we have to wrap. This is what, week 4, week 5. Who are we? Are you guys still loving the same people, Ted?
They're not showing our people.
Cassie had a great makeout.
She actually did have more time. My girl, she might be gone.
And we don't know.
She might have been eaten by a leech. I'm not sure.
She could be still in Singapore.
Yeah.
Shayne and Ted, everybody, still ahead. It is cold, and it's only going to get colder. And we found the one person in Minnesota who is loving the temperature. Eric Dayton will join us. But next, I watched a documentary that I have to give credit. Shayne told me about, Alex Kendall told me about, on triplets separated at birth, and it is mind-blowing. I will tell you about this when we come back. Back after this.
Did you watch it yet?
When people ask me what is the most remarkable story you ever encountered, I tell them it's the story of the triplets.
You guys have been on the front page of every newspaper in the world.
True. They were more like clones than they were like brothers.
It was a miracle.
There was nothing that could keep us apart.
That's when things kind of got funky.
Yeah, that is a word. That's a word. Welcome back, everybody. That's a clip from the trailer for the documentary 3 identical strangers. And I'm going to use a lot of cliche words here, but it's all applicable for this documentary. It is unbelievable story about triplets separated at birth who meet each other at the age of 19. Welcome back. Shayne and I both got a chance to watch the movie recently. I will tell you that, you know how I love telling all of you things to watch and things that I love that I think you like? We do it here in the staff, and I have to give credit where credit's due. You sent me a text and you're like, you need to watch this. And the day before, Alex Kendall, for those who don't know, anchor at the Fox 9 Morning News, stopped me in the hallway and said, you have to watch this. Can you give everybody the general synopsis if they're not familiar with the story?
I mean, you kind of heard a little bit there, but there are these 3 brothers. 2 of them basically go to the same college, ironically, and run into basically friends of the other one who say, no, you must have a twin. And they actually had a twin. So they discover basically there's 3 of them that were all separated at birth. Are we revealing, like, I don't want to give away the, like,
no, I mean, because it is
the big ending.
No, I mean, as you saw, it was on Donahue. A lot of you may remember this story because this made international headlines in the 80s because, you know, it was originally they found 2. And then the newspaper articles came out, and then the 3rd brother was like, oh my goodness, that's me. And then it was the 3 of them. And we won't say anything more because there is a twist. You heard the woman interviewed there and said, oh, this is where things got funky. This story takes a turn that you don't see coming that involves how the brothers were separated, why they were separated, and it will shock you. I mean, I don't want to be overly dramatic and try to oversell it.
No, it is.
It is genuinely shocking.
And it makes you even think about your own life at the end. And I'm not going to tell you why, but it does. It takes a very dark turn. And one thing I think that was so shocking to me, too, is that there are still people hiding the truth of what happened.
To this day, as we are sitting here talking about it, yes, progress has been made, and you'll understand what we mean when you watch it. But there are still secrets that are still uncovered. And when you get to the end, Shayne is right. The last couple lines of the documentary, you'll go like this. Oh my goodness.
Goosebumps just thinking about it again.
It's really good. I could not. You felt such compassion, and you just saw a clip. That's one of the brothers right there, and there are 3 of them. And I love the title 3 Identical Strangers because you do realize they are identical and they focus on what they have in common, but boy oh boy, they are very different in very important ways, and it'll all be uncovered. Please watch this and let us know what you think. 3 Identical Strangers aired on CNN, actually made history. It was watched by, I think, a record 2.5 million people.
I think it's airing again this coming Saturday, by the way.
You can also rent it on YouTube, Amazon, and a few other spots. Still ahead, we're celebrating Oprah's birthday with a fun game, but next, it is really cold. It is really cold outside. That's why I'm grateful we have the audience we have today. And Eric Dayton wants you to enjoy it before it gets hot. We're talking to Mr. Dayton when we come back. Back after this, everybody.
Gotta warm up.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Well, it is. I don't want to harp on this, especially sitting next to my next guest, but it is cold outside, everybody. And while that drives some of us crazy, our next guest is actually soaking it up and wants us to actually appreciate it and promoting the event that he co-founded to celebrate all things winter in Minnesota. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Eric Dayton, everybody. Eric, welcome back.
Thank you.
So, Eric and I were laughing because the last time he was on the show, the last time I interviewed you, again, it was one of the coldest days of winter.
It was winter, I remember, yep.
We need to invite you in the summer when it's warm,
I'm happy to be here anytime.
Perfect. Tell everybody, for watching around Wisconsin and other stations, what exactly is the Great Northern?
So the Great Northern is a 10-day celebration of winter. We're in the midst of it. It runs through this weekend. And really the idea was, you know, this is a time of year when I think people sometimes maybe tend to stay inside. They're not as active. And we wanted to give people a reason to get outside, be active, have fun, create a sense of community, and just, you know, celebrate the season.
And what? Yeah, absolutely.
I like this audience.
They're great. Hey, these are the Eric. These are the hardy Minnesotans.
I know these are my people. These are my people here.
We had cancellations. We're not shaming them, but these are the hardy people right
That's
here.
Right.
That's
I
right.
like it. I like it.
And that was, Eric, you and I have talked, that was kind of the catalyst. You're kind of the front man for the effort to embrace the winterness of Minnesota. Where did that actually come from?
Well, I think it comes from a love for this state. And, look, winter is part of Minnesota. It's a significant season in our calendar. It's a big part of our identity, I think, in terms of how we're perceived by the rest of the country. And so to me, I love Minnesota. That means loving it in all seasons and just choosing to have a positive year-round mindset. And so to me, the alternative isn't a lot of fun, which is to be negative, to dread winter, to complain about winter. And I think that's not just bad for our physical health if we're not being outdoors and active, but it's not great for our collective psyche. And so to me, loving Minnesota means loving winter.
And for instance, like with the Great Northern, you guys are still doing, forgive me, I forgot the official name, the dinner outside right down the middle of the road. You did it last year. Right here. Oh, here we're looking at it.
There we go. Yep.
Now that is embracing the winter. I mean, tell me a little bit. Tell folks about the dinner.
So we did this in our first year with the Bachelor Farmer in partnership with our neighbor Spoon and Stable, and we invited 100 people on this communal table, and it was fantastic. And actually this year, I'm really excited that on Thursday night we're doing something that'll be, I think, even bigger and better and allow more people to participate. We're throwing a free outdoor concert on Nicollet Mall, headlined by Matt and Kim. And so I encourage people to bundle up, and whether they're leaving work downtown and stay, or coming in from other places to join us downtown, it should be a fun evening. And we actually have a lot of the downtown restaurants that are going to be opening up their patios for an outdoor happy hour, which should be a blast. So hope people will join us.
I got to tell you, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Because I'm not joking. Anyone who listens to the radio show, I have a lot of civic pride. I love being here. I love living in Minneapolis. I'm very proud of it. And I think about you a lot because your conversation, and I know like the Skyway conversation is debatable and all that, but I think about you a lot in terms of when I go to Chicago and I'm walking down the Magnificent Mile and the weather ain't stopping people. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm watching people in 4 layers of coats still walking from store to store. And I know there are differences, obviously, but it ain't stopping people in Chicago,
Well, look, we're not the only place in the country that has cold winters, and ultimately, winter's going to happen whether we like it or not. So we can't control the weather. We can't control that it's cold this week. What we can control is how we react to it and the mindset that we bring to it, and that's really what drives the Great Northern is being intentional about having a positive winter mindset and hopefully creating 10 days of programming that makes it easier for people to adopt that mindset and get out and embrace it.
We're right in the middle. We got to go, and we're going to keep you around for one more segment. There's a minute today. What's the event? It's a tech event today, right?
This evening, we're doing a tech entrepreneurship showcase in downtown Minneapolis. The event's sold out, which is great. It means there's a lot of enthusiasm around the startup community, which is just getting stronger and stronger. But there's a lot of programming that's still open and available through the rest of the week and through the weekend.
Even though it's going to be cold, go out and enjoy it. Now, like I said, Eric's sticking around. More with Eric Dayton when we come back. Stay with us, everybody. Back in a moment. More with Eric Dayton, co-founder of the Great Northern. By the way, Eric mentions all the programming with the Great Northern. We're going to put this whole segment on our Facebook page and a little bit later on YouTube, and we'll put a link where you guys can get out this weekend or the rest of the Great Northern and pick one event to go to with your family. Switching gears a little bit, but in the same realm, you're also a busy guy. You made an announcement with your store recently, a big change. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So we've been operating a brick and mortar retail store in the North Loop since 2011. Since 2013, we've started to produce our own product, our own outdoor apparel, starting with our North hats, which are probably the thing we're best known for. And so we've decided to really shift our focus and commit our focus to to creating our own product. And so we're shutting down the shop at the end of this week. We're going to close it for the spring, summer while we focus on product development, and then reopen it in the fall, fully anchored by our own products. So the only change is that we're discontinuing the other brands we've carried so that we can focus on the things that we make.
The North hats, you were mentioning the North hats, the biggest thing. I was in Disney World in Orlando and on a cold day, and someone had a North hat on, and I was like, oh, look, even here in Florida. Are you surprised at the success of those hats?
Well, we certainly couldn't have predicted the way that they were received and the way that idea was received. Because I think what's really driven the success of the hats is the enthusiasm around this idea of the North, and so it's certainly exceeded our expectations. And now we're looking to grow beyond making the hats to really what's the full range of outdoor apparel that you need for this type of weather, so that you dress appropriately to be out there on a day like today, enjoying winter and having a lot of fun. So. We're excited about where we're headed.
I always like to mine your expertise because, again, living in Minneapolis and being prideful of Minneapolis, it's a fascinating topic. It's been recently in the news with retail. Eric, it's a very nuanced conversation, but what do you think is one thing the city could do other than Skyways? One thing. Because that's a 4-hour conversation, but
we'll come back. We'll come back.
We'll do a special edition of the Jason Show on that one. But no,
today's probably not the day to make the argument for bringing down the
exactly.
Skyways. Even I recognize that.
But do you think? Let me parse it down even easier. Do you think retail can come back into downtown Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul, for that matter?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think there's absolutely a future for brick and mortar retail. We're seeing that. There's a next generation of brands that are reinventing brick and mortar in some ways. But I think we can have healthy retail. I think it's important. I think we have to figure out a way to make it work. It's an important part of the experience of our city, and I think it's part of creating a city that is a vibrant place to live and work for those of us who are already here. But it's also an important part of attracting talent from around the country to join us here, and that's really a part of how I think about the Great Northern. Is winter is a big part of who we are, where we are. And if we sort of concede that it's some negative thing, how do we expect people to come want to join us here? We've got to tell a positive story year-round about this place. And I think through the programming we're creating, and as those images through this show and others start to get out regionally and even nationally, it starts to change the mindset about how people perceive this place.
Do you think the Super Bowl? Do you think the Super Bowl helped?
Oh yeah, no, I think
because we're a year out from the Super Bowl, and I talked to you right before then. Do you think that was a public relations success as far as getting that message out?
Oh, absolutely. I think the Super Bowl was a great success. It was a big opportunity, and I think we made the most of it. But now that we don't hang the mission accomplished banner. Now the work really begins. We've delivered this message. We've kind of made a promise to the rest of the country about who we are, where we are. And now we got to now follow through on that and not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. And here's a great week to follow through on that and show people how we embrace the cold and how we have fun with it.
How's your dad doing?
He's great. We just celebrated his birthday, and he's starting to enjoy retirement. It's a big transition.
Because he likes to stay busy.
Yeah. This is not sort of natural for him, having not being busy. So it's a real transition, but we're happy for him.
I got to say, politics. I'm interested in politics, but it's a muscle I don't utilize on this show because that's not the purpose of the show. But I will tell you, and I think even it's a nonpartisan thing. I think you will agree. I've talked to Republicans and Democrats, and everyone, even if they disagreed with your dad on policy issues, everybody just thought your dad was just a good man. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And so I want to ask you, they may disagree with them, but you rarely heard someone go, well, that is just a brr, brr, brr. They always thought he was a good man. As his son, how does that make you feel? That's the reputation of your father with many.
Oh, of course, it makes me very proud. I mean, I think that's right. I think people, people didn't always agree with him, but they never questioned his intentions, his motivations. That he was always doing what he thought was best for the state, and I'm proud of that legacy.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Come back now. The producers over there, we're going to book you for July 14th. When it's warm. Eric Dayton, everybody, the Great Northern.
Thank you.
Go, everybody. The Great Northern will run through this weekend. Spread the word. Let's spread this positive word.
There we go. Hope to see you out there. Thank you.
More information, head to right there, thegreatnorthernfestival.com. And again, don't forget you can watch full episodes of the show now on our really cool YouTube channel. We post each day's episodes around 1 or 2 o'clock, along with exclusive clips from the show. To search for The Jason Show and hit subscribe. We'll be right back, everybody. Celebrate Opie's birthday. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
See what tomorrow will be. Run on, 'cause
is a clip from 21 years ago when Oprah Winfrey recorded her own theme song. She sang her own theme song for her iconic talk show. The song was called Run On. Why are we showing you that? Not just because you know I love Oprah, but today is a day to celebrate Oprah. It is her 65th birthday. Happy birthday, Miss O. And we're paying tribute to Oprah with today's game. It is game time, everybody. Here we go. Today's game is called Oh Yes or Oh No. I'm going to give you a piece of information about Oprah Winfrey, and you have to decide if it's real by saying oh yes, or made up by our research team, and then you say oh no. The player with the most correct answers wins a Jason Shaw mug. Playing today, give it up for Monique and Jamila, everybody. Okay, ladies, hands above buzzers. Remember, oh yes or oh no. The minute you know it, go ahead and buzz in. Here we go. Oh no or oh yes. Oprah Winfrey Show's very first episode was about how to marry the man or woman of your dreams. Monique.
Oh no.
It was oh yes. It was oh yes. It was oh yes. They tried to get Don Johnson, Dolly Parton. No star would go on the Oprah Winfrey Show because nobody knew who she was back then. Nobody knew who she was. Hands above buzzers. Here we go. Oh yes or oh no. Oprah is a former beauty queen. Jamila.
Oh yes.
You are right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Good job.
Oprah won, quote, Miss Black Tennessee at age 17. There we go.
Right,
that's right. She also won Miss Fire Prevention, I think, too. She won a couple, yeah. Hands above buzzers. I know way too much, believe me. Hands above buzzers. Oh, yes or oh, no. Oprah once did an episode on her least favorite things. Jamila.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Oprah would no. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes or oh, no. Oprah has been nominated for 3 Academy Awards. Monique.
Oh, yes?
It is actually oh, no. It is close. She got one as an actor for The Color Purple and one as a producer for Selma. Yeah. Famously in The Color Purple one, Gene Siskel, the late great movie critic, said, you better, she had a roll in front of her at the luncheon, the Academy luncheon. He says, you better bronze that because that's the only award you're getting this year.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, no.
What did she do? She bronzed it. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Hands above buzzers. Oh, yes or oh, no. Oprah did a voice in a Disney animated movie. Jamila.
Oh, yes.
You are right. That's right.
Good job.
The Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
The Princess and the Frog. Okay. Monique, Jamila, hands above buzzers. Oh, yes or oh, no. Oprah once gave her entire audience new motorcycles. Jamila.
Oh, no.
You are right. Oh, no. No motorcycles. No motorcycles. Here we go. Hands above buzzers. Oprah's final official guest was Tom Cruise. Monique.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Oprah's final guest was actually herself. Herself, that's right. Hands above buzzers, here we go. Oh, yes or oh, no. Oprah didn't get her ears pierced until she was 50 years old. Jamila.
Oh, no.
It was oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay.
In 2005, live on the air, she got her ears pierced for the all of those that drop diamonds she wore. That was a little clip-on. Hands above buzzers. Here we go. Oh yes or oh no. Oprah met her BFF Gail in 1976. Jamila.
Oh yes.
You are right. 1976. They worked at the same station. There was a snowstorm, and Oprah let Gail stay at her apartment. There we go. Hands above buzzers. Oh, yes or oh, no. Oprah's first book for the book club was A Million Little Pieces. Monique.
Oh, yes.
No. It was The Deep End of the Ocean.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That was a good movie. Yeah. Here we go. Last one. Hands above buzzers. Oprah once did an episode titled, My Husband is Not My Child's Father. Monique.
Oh, yes.
She did, yes! She did! The first couple years of the show, No, it wasn't living your best life. It was, let's stay on the air. Yeah. Both are getting a Jason Show mug, everybody. Thank you, Jamila and Monique. I'll pass it down.
Thank you.
Sweetie. We're going to be right back, wrapping things up with Shayne. Stay right there, everybody. Back in a moment. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. What was that? So good. Too bad there's nothing in it, but that's great. Yeah. Shayne joins me again. I literally just checked on Twitter, and someone made, I think, a reasonable request. They said, and I love that people know Director Leo's name by name. We got 2 Twitter messages, actually, not one, that said, please ask Director Leo if we could leave this background up until the weather warms up. Yeah.
So for like 6 months.
For like, yeah, I think she just means for the next couple days.
Okay,
We'll put this background. Before we go today, a story out of Australia that we just have to tell you about. A woman wakes up in the middle of the night to use the restroom. Something we all as humans have done. But here's the problem. As she sits on the toilet, she gets bitten on the bum. She gets bitten on the bum by a giant snake. At first, she thought it was a frog in her toilet at first. But instead, this audience, I love you guys so much. But instead, it was a 5-foot python. She called Animal Wildlife, who managed to pull the python from the toilet. They said it was smart that the woman didn't flush, because the snake would have just resurfaced later. The woman said she always turns the lights in her bathroom on from now on. She's always gonna do that. Yeah. I gotta tell you, I said this in our meeting, this always reminds me, I have stories that I've told many times, especially to our executive producer, Jeff, and this is one of my favorite stories that I've told many times, and it involves one of my very first friends here in Minneapolis, and her name is Nun. She really was a nun, but she ran away from the convent in the middle of the night. But anyway, but Nun was using the facilities in the middle of the night, as we do, and she was sitting there, and she's half asleep, and there was a baby bat that was hanging on the lip of the toilet and shot up from the seat of the toilet. Can you imagine?
Is that the night she ran?
Oh, I think that was the night she left the convent. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. But seriously, can you imagine? You're just doing your business and then like a little bat just flies up.
With their little red eyes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, so the sister story to that, if you're familiar with the radio show, you're going like this right now because you know what I'm going to tell you. So my radio co-host Alexis on My Talk 107.1, this was back in the day when Alexis and I were in the same building doing the radio show, because for those of you who don't know, I actually do the radio show here at Fox Studios, and Alexis and my producer are in St. Paul. Anyway, we used to do the show in the same studio. Went to a commercial. I'm in a soundproof radio room, okay? All of a sudden I hear, no! And I was like, oh my goodness. Alexis opens the door to the stall, and there, sitting on the toilet, is a ginormous wet rat. Sitting on the toilet, and Alexis, as only she can, you guys watch the show, you know, Lex goes like this. Lex goes, we looked at each other and we had a moment. And then the rat like jumped off the toilet. And Alexis went screaming. Well, the thing of it is, even if it's not indicative or a referendum on the cleanliness of the location, the rats, we found this out because, girl, you know we did research. Rats can condense, that they get in plumbing pipes. My father-in-law told me this, because they can condense their skeletal, like they can squeeze.
We don't
through.
need to know this.
I'm just telling you.
You're literally ruining my nights.
Well, I'm at least ruining your trip to the restroom. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go.
No.
Tomorrow on the show, we love when she stops by. Oh, I love her. The etiquette expert from the St. Paul Hotel is back, talking about etiquette while dating. From how to ask someone on a date to how to say no. The tips and tricks that can help you find love. But right now, that's going to do it for us. Go out there and be yourself, everybody. Nobody